All right, here we go with example 2. A tiny but horrible alien is standing at the top of the Eiffel Tower, which is 324 meters tall. That's just a fact, and threatening to destroy the city of Paris. Well, now, just because it's an alien, that doesn't mean it's threatening to destroy the city. I mean, come on. But anyway, a Men in Black agent, man, there's an old reference, is standing at ground level, 90 meters across the Eiffel Square, aiming his laser gun at the alien. What angle in degrees should the agent shoot his laser gun? So I'm going to pause for a second. You don't have to write down every piece, but it would probably be a good idea to try to solve this on your own before watching the solution. So here we have the Eiffel Tower. Now, they made the problem easier. Notice in the last problem, because if you're firing a laser gun, it's not going to be on the ground when you shoot it, right? It's going to be up in the air, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to just assume that the laser is being shot off the ground just to make life easy for everybody, okay? And hopefully you can see this right triangle that we're dealing with right here. Okay. So I'm going to stop for a minute or for a few seconds. Please pause the video, see what you can do with this. This is solving for an angle. So if you don't remember how to solve for an angle, there's a link up there that'll help you out. Okay. Let's see. What do we have? What do we need? Well, this one's a little bit weird because what we need is the angle. And what we have is actually two things. We have, let's see, which are these? This one here, this bottom leg, looks like it is the adjacent leg. And this 324 looks to me like the opposite leg. Okay? Now, could we find the hypotenuse of this if we wanted to? Like if we were going to say how far away is the alien from the agent? Then we would be looking for this hypotenuse, but we're not really interested in it for the purposes of this problem, so we're just going to ignore it. Okay, so we've got adjacent, we've got opposite. Once again, it's time for SOHCAHTOA. I will never, ever get tired of writing that. Okay. We've got adjacent, we've got opposite. Which one of these has the two things that we've got? It's tangent. Again, we're going to see tangent a lot. It's probably the most common of the three, but don't quote me on that. Like the most commonly used of the three. Okay, so we get tangent of x degrees, I guess. We don't know what that is. I'm not going to put a question mark in because I don't want to confuse you, but yeah, we'll call this x degrees. And that equals, again, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So 324 divided by 90. Now again, at this point, some students get this thought like, I'm going to divide both sides by tangent or something like that. You can't do that. Tangent isn't a number. Tangent of like 40 degrees is a number, but tangent by itself is not a number. So what we're going to do is we are going to untangent both sides, okay? And the correct word for that is either inverse tangent or arctangent. I use arctangent because it sounds cooler, and that's really all. So x, we are going to arctangent both sides. And remember, arctangent, don't be afraid, is just the process that undoes tangent, right? Tangent, you put in a degree, you put in an angle, that is, and you get out a ratio. All right? With arctangent, you put in the ratio, and it will tell you what angle is associated with that ratio. So we get x equals the arctangent of 324 over 90. Great handwriting, Cunningham. And again, now we are in calculator play mode. I'm going to move back over to my calculator. Again, like I said in the last video, especially if you're using the Google calculator always defaults to radians when you first log into it. So you got to check this upper left button and make sure that degrees is the one that is highlighted. Okay, so let's see. It was arctangent of 324 over 90. So to find arctangent, you hit this inverse button, or on a normal calculator, it'll probably be a second button or a shift button. And when I do that, you'll notice that sine, cosine, and tangent have turned into sine -1, cosine -1, and tangent -1. That is a shorthand for arcsine, arccosine, and arctangent. And you'll notice when I hit the tangent -1 button, it says arctan. And I believe it was 324 divided by 90. Remember, over means divided by. And that equals 74.48 degrees. Remember, we are in degrees. So 70, let's say 74.5 degrees. X is approximately 74.5 degrees. That is the angle that the special agent will have to make with the ground in order to shoot the alien. But again, due process, guys, due process. Questions can be put in the comments. Questions can be emailed to me. Since I'm making these videos shorter, I will probably turn out 2 or 3 more examples before we move on to the next one. Have a good one. Class dismissed.